In this episode, we'll install a dual camera system consisting of a front and rear camera on a Skoda Octavia 4. If you're looking for a dash cam that provides excellent image quality both at the front and rear of the car, 70MAI has just launched a system with a pretty interesting feature. We get 4K not only on the front camera, but also on the rear one. This is the new 70MAI A900 Dual, a dual 4K HDR system that we'll install on the car today and see how well it performs in real-world conditions. I was pleasantly surprised both by the image quality and by the new connectivity upgrades, such as Wi-Fi 6 and 4G connectivity. With that said, let's move on to the unboxing. This is the box the cameras come in. It's a fairly new model, and my client really wanted to have it installed on his car, a 2020 Skoda Octavia 4, a very nice car that obviously deserves the best protection provided by some of the best known dash cams from the 70MAI brand. Along with this camera set, we also purchased a Hardwire kit and a 64GB storage card, both from 70MAI. You can choose the package that suits you best, as the website offers several different configurations, all just one click away. The kit is extremely useful and offers many functions, such as real-time vehicle location, and if we insert a SIM card, we can also access the live camera feed. Inside the carefully packed box, we find the following: a nice installation manual. We get wet wipes for cleaning the lenses. Then we have 2 sets of electrostatic stickers for both the windshield and rear window. The cameras are attached with double-sided adhesive directly to these stickers rather than to the glass itself, which allows us to remove the cameras quickly if we sell the car or want to change their position. The installation manuals are available in several languages for both the rear and front cameras, but we won't go into detail because I'll guide you step by step through this tutorial and show you everything you need to know for a professional installation. We also have 2 spare double-sided adhesive strips in case, as I mentioned, we want to move the cameras later. Here we have the 2 4K cameras included in the package. This is the rear camera. The lens is protected by a protective film. Here we have the adhesive strip. The camera is made from quality materials and can rotate for perfect image adjustment. This is the power connection for the camera, which will come directly from the front camera through this USB-C port. Moving on to the front camera. It has a premium texture while also being resistant to scratches and impacts. The lens protrudes from the body, which allows for better focusing compared to previous models. The recording angle can also be adjusted as needed. On the side, we have the audio/video input for the rear camera and the Type-C power port. On the back, we have a protective film for the display and the buttons used to navigate through the menu, although we can also navigate using the phone app. On the left side, we have the power button and the micro SD card slot. At the bottom, we have the cable for the rear camera. The ports are labeled and both ends are Type-C. Here we have a USB-A to Type-C adapter cable for the cigarette lighter socket, which we won't be using. This is a Type-C adapter that helps us transfer data from the phone or card directly to the PC. We also have the cigarette lighter power adapter with 2 USB ports, where we can connect the camera and, if needed, another device, as well as a plastic trim removal tool that can help us during installation without scratching the car's plastic trim. In the next box from the kit, we have the 70MAI 4G Hardwire kit, which allows us to power the camera directly from the fuse box so we can use parking mode. I really like this Hardwire kit because, as you'll see, it allows us to insert a SIM card. We have a USB-C to USB-C cable to power the camera from the module output. Here is the Hardwire kit module and the power wires. The yellow wire is ACC for ignition switched power, VCC is for permanent power, and this is the ground wire. Each wire has its own fuse, which means everything is safe for the car's electrical system, so there's nothing to worry about. We also have a manual for the Hardwire kit and a SIM eject tool for inserting the nano SIM card. We also have a SIM card directly from 70MAI, but the owner has already purchased his own SIM card. Check the available plans online to see whether they offer a better deal than your own mobile provider. Here we have the 70MAI micro SD card. We're going to insert our own SIM card, which is already activated. I should mention here that it is recommended to use a subscription SIM rather than a prepaid one because the remote features may not be available with prepaid cards. We insert the eject tool into this hole and remove the tray to see what format it uses. It takes a nano SIM, the smallest type of SIM card. We remove it from our SIM holder and install it in the device with the chip facing upward. These are all the products included in our package. The product is available on AliExpress, and I'll add the link in the video description so you can purchase it after watching this installation tutorial and seeing what kind of performance it offers. I also managed to get some competitive discount codes for my followers. Also, AliExpress is running its August sale from August 17th to 26th. You can get up to 20% off using my exclusive discount codes. I've put the codes on screen and in the video description. Just choose the one that matches your order value. Let's go to the car and start the installation. We'll begin by removing the rear view mirror cover so we can route the cable through the right side. I'll use a plastic trim removal tool to unclip the cover. I'll push it forward and then downward, then press each of the 4 clips. Behind the mirror, there's another plastic cover that will also unclip. This Skoda has a factory Type-C port, but will power the camera from the fuse box, because after testing the port, we found that it doesn't provide the voltage required to power the camera. We simply need to pull it to disconnect it. Next, we'll position the electrostatic sticker on the windshield, as close as possible to the top. I'll mount the camera like this. The power cable will come out from the side, go upward under the headliner, and we'll route it to the left toward the driver's side fuse box. We'll also have another cable for the rear camera, which will route through the right side. I've taken the module from the Hardwire kit and I'll splice 2 fuse tap adapters, yellow to yellow and red to red. The adapters are not provided in the box. I'll splice the yellow wire to the wire marked ACC on the module and the red wire to the red wire marked VCC. I'll use heat shrink tubing to secure the connection between the 2 thin wires. I first splice the red wires for VCC together and then the yellow wires for ACC. Using the plastic trim removal tool, we'll remove the side plastic cover and route the module wires through here so they come out at the fuse box. We'll leave the ground wire here so we can attach it to one of the bolts. For this, we'll need a 13mm wrench to loosen the bolt. After partially loosening it, we insert the ground wire behind the bolt and tighten it back up. I'll secure the cable, then remove the adhesive backing and stick the module inside the dashboard, where it fits perfectly because the surface is flat. Just remember to insert the SIM card before sticking the module. This is how I connected the fuse tap adapters. I plugged the ACC fuse tap adapter into position 66, which is the fuse for the rear wiper. The VCC fuse tap adapter can be plugged into almost any of the other fuse slots, as they are permanently powered. Position 66 is powered only when the ignition is on, so make sure you use it for ACC and not one of the permanently powered slots. Refer to the fuse box diagram shown on the screen to see the position better. Next, I'll connect the rear camera cable to the front camera. On right-hand drive cars, the fuse box is in the same general area, but it will be behind the glove box rather than under the steering wheel, as it is on our car. I'll apply the sticker included in the package to the windshield, as close as possible to the top of the windshield, and then use the card included in the package to remove any bubbles and smooth out the sticker. I've routed one cable to the right and one to the left under the headliner, and now I'll stick the camera onto the windshield. We'll route this cable toward the rear on the right side, while the other cable will go to the fuse box on the left side, under the headliner. I connected the cable to the module for a quick test, and I'm happy to say that everything is working properly. This is how I routed the cable. I ran it under the headliner and then underneath the curtain airbag, with the help of a pick tool, and pulled the connector through. Next, we route it under this trim, and finally pull the weather seal back over the cable. The first step after installing the camera is to format the memory card. After that, the front camera will start recording. I've reinstalled the cover, and I'll show you once again what the final result looks like and how perfectly the cable is hidden. We'll continue with the rear camera installation. We remove the weather seal on the right side and once again use the pick tool to pull the cable underneath the curtain airbag. To route the cable further back, I'll partially remove both weather seals. I'm using a guide wire, which I'll tape to the cable with electrical tape so I can guide it toward the rear. We move to the trunk and unclip the tailgate weather seal as well. Then, I'll remove the rubber wiring boot that carries the wires into the tailgate and unclip the two plastic trim pieces. After unclipping the interior trims from the right side pillar of the car, I'll route the wire through the inside so it won't be visible once the installation is complete. Now I'm going to route the wiring above the headliner, through the rubber boot, and behind the tailgate trim. Using a rotary tool, I made a small cutout for the cable to pass through, as this is what the owner requested. You can also route the cable alongside the third brake light on the tailgate without having to cut the plastic. I covered the small opening using a hot glue gun and black glue sticks. I also used the hot glue to secure the cable so it wouldn't get in the way of the brake light. Now, I'll show you some of the camera's functions and tell you about some of its strong points. The front camera is compact and mounts very discreetly on the windshield, while the rear camera is installed at the back of the car and also records in 4K. Both cameras feature HDR, which is especially helpful when there are major differences in brightness, for example when entering or exiting a tunnel, or when the sun is shining directly into the camera. Once a collision is detected, the camera automatically saves the footage in a separate folder so that it cannot be overwritten. The driver fatigue reminder will let you know when it's time to take a break from driving. The camera also features voice control. Parking surveillance can be set to remain active for anywhere between 2 and 24 hours, or you can set it to unlimited. If a collision is detected, you will immediately receive an alert on your phone through the 70MAI app, provided you have the 4G Hardwire kit installed. If you want to avoid possible false alerts caused by strong winds or very minor impacts, you can adjust the impact sensor sensitivity accordingly. All the settings available in the dash cam menu can also be changed directly from the smartphone app. You can set parking mode to start immediately after the ignition is turned off or after a delay of your choice. You also don't have to worry about draining the car battery, as you can manually set the cutoff voltage from the vehicle battery protection menu. The video resolution can be switched between Ultra HD and Full HD. You can choose a recording length of 1, 2, or 3 minutes for each video clip. If you want, you can also choose to keep the 70MAI logo, speed watermark, and even the GPS coordinates displayed on the recorded footage. The anti-flicker setting should be adjusted according to the electrical grid frequency used in your country in order to avoid flickering in nighttime footage. The rear camera image can be flipped vertically or mirrored, so the orientation of the camera doesn't really matter when you mount it on the rear window. On the dash cam display, you can choose between split screen mode and single camera view, depending on your preference. You can also turn the display off completely if you prefer. Thanks to the 4G Hardwire kit, you also gain remote access to several very useful features. You can also check the battery voltage in real time. You can check the LTE connection status and other related information. You can access the alarm center and review any recorded alarm events. You can access the live view from both cameras at any time, even while the car is in parking mode. You can check the vehicle's location, which can be extremely useful if you forget where you parked your car in a large shopping center parking lot. With the geofencing feature, you can set a virtual perimeter around the vehicle, basically allowing the dash cam to work like a GPS tracker. This can also be extremely useful in case the vehicle is stolen. If you are using a 70MAI SIM card, you can check your mobile data usage directly from the app. As you can see, the 4K footage is genuine 4K. A lot of dash cam manufacturers advertise their cameras as having 4K video resolution, but in reality, some of them are 2K at best. Many cameras also lack a good image sensor, which results in terrible nighttime footage. True HDR helps us clearly see the license plates of other vehicles even when their headlights are shining directly into the camera. Once again, this renowned brand maintains the same high standards that I've seen with all the other models I've tested so far. In the video description, you'll also find links to videos where I reviewed several other 70MAI dash cams. I can say with complete confidence and honesty that this camera is an excellent choice if you're looking for an affordable dash cam while still getting access to a huge number of features and excellent video quality. You'll find all the discount codes in the description of this video, as well as in the first pinned comment, so don't forget to use them. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. Don't forget to leave a like, post a comment, and of course, subscribe to the channel, because I have many more interesting DIY projects coming soon.